Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, B Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab. I'm in two books. I got a lesson. I got a piece. I got a phrase from the first book. I'm gonna get out the way. Anunian theology, which we're gonna talk about. But yeah, I got two books working right now. I'm teaching my butt off right now. That's right. Rightism. 25 rule to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? So let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You women are through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my eye be true. I'm in the book right here. Maybe my next book I'll go to. The Anunian theology. Okay. They had their concept about God. I want to give you a breakdown of what they call the psycho-spiritual journey through the principles of creation. It's a breakdown of all human beings from a cosmological concept, so to speak. Let me break it for you right quick. This is a few paragraphs. Every human being is on his or her own psycho-spiritual journey in life. You got to think, you got to feel, and you got to do. Those are qualities. And they are various ways of trying to what? Discover. What you trying to discover? Happiness, peace, and contentment and fulfillment in this life as we live it. Most people is in search for that in the world for these what coveted goals. You can't get happiness, contentment, and peace from the world. It's internal. That's what they try to teach the psycho spiritual journey to get you to think right, do right, and be right. However, invariably, they can only what find limited fulfillment in this physical world at best. And then at the end, guess what? All of your personal achievements, no matter how grand, how fancy, how rich, all are what? Relinquished by them at the time of death. So all your personal achievements in life adds up to totally nothing. Okay. But at Judgment Day, when you get judged for how you live, that's gonna make the difference. We teach that. We knew that. We advocated that and we live by that. And those who do, know. Those who don't, don't. That's why. And right thinking philosophy, which is the yoga philosophy, shows that people are really searching for a deeper happiness and that if they were to understand, get the message on how and what to pursue in their worldly desires, their actions and experiences would be directed where? You ready? Towards the inner spiritual discovery. God is hidden inside man. The fruit of this inner journey that you go inside, the fruit that you receive is the discovery, what? That one, you have infinite peace, bliss, and it's within you. This is the true goal of life, to know thyself. Nihas, reach the level of consciousness, understanding by living, practicing the truth that our ancient ancestors set forth for us. Let me put this back. I'll be back to this in a minute. Right now, let's get over here because we're about to break down the different theories from different places. We're going to deal with the Anunian theory, as I just got the book from, where they got this concept. Enoch, the 9 gods. You know who they are? Okay, you remember them? They look familiar? Okay, that's Ra at the top, and you got all the elements of life: Shu, air. You can't see Shu, he right there. Air, moisture, Nut, heaven, Geb, earth, Asar, that's Aset, wisdom, intuitive knowledge, Asar, the first spirit and matter coming to man, human form. You got Set, your ego, and you got Nefet, the sister to Aset. She represents mortality. And then you got right here, Haru Earth. You hear me saying the phrase, I'm practicing to be my best self, to be greatness, practicing for greatness. Haru is that's you mastering oneself. That's how you become great. Self-mastery in the physical form. And that's what he represents. Let's go. This is going to be fun. The Anunian Trinity. We call Shita, I tell you, Shita Netta means the hidden God. So Shita Anu, we're going to teach you about the hidden God and goddesses and the concept. Okay? So it says here, the mystery teachings of the Anunian tradition are related to the divinity Ra, he's the God, and his company of God and goddesses, elements, nature, and then concepts. All right, excuse me. This temple is related to temples espouse the teachings, of creation and human origins. Again, we want the origin, where it began, where it started, and this is what we're doing. The human origins on the path to what they call spiritual enlightenment. Spirit is God. Enlightenment means to find out, to get information. So you need to know God. And spiritual enlightenment means you have learned about God by means of the Supreme Being, and he's in the form of the God we call Ra. Amen Ra. Amen means the hidden one, not so more to be y'all. I hear y'all tell, and whoever started that, well, I know where it comes from. But it's starting to get a little annoying. Why? Because it's wrong. I hate when they got wrong information in the permeate that's going on there or not. I'm arguing with a kid about Jesus. But man, I'm so past that. Okay, if you a Christian, stay Christian. Leave what I do alone. I don't do Christianity. I just explain it to you and break it down. I ain't got nothing to do with that. They're going to text me, all right, you need to do blah, 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 blah. You need to... Man, let that go, please. Moving on. I'm teaching. I ain't got time to debate with you about what you feel and what you think. If you're a Christian, obviously you don't know much outside of Christianity. Okay, you may know that, but okay, be a good Christian. Leave me be. All right. But the gods and goddesses who are God's children. It tells the story of how Ra emerged from the primeval ocean and how human beings were really created from his tears. Everybody got a story. Okay, creation story. Kunam, pottering on the wheel. Y'all got God picking up man from the dust and holding him. Everybody got that concept. That's where it comes from right there. But again, he created us from the tears, meaning we are sorrowful beings. He had tears of joy and he cried, and that's where we come from. So we should be what? Blissful, peaceful, content beings. And we are considered the gods and goddesses who are his children, go on to form the elements, again, of nature. That's how God makes himself known, through his elements, through nature. And the cosmic forces that maintain nature. That's the beauty part of it. And it says here, I'm going to show you, it says below, I just showed you the picture of the Heliopian cosmogony. That's the story of Anu, featuring Amen Ra as the lead god in this town. The netters of creation, the company of gods and goddesses, Netter, Netteru. Netter meaning one, that's Ra. He's the netter. Netteru is the rest. Okay? I hope you understand that. But you got Nabercha, that means Netteru. And Nabercha is who? Amun, the hidden one, the mystery, the God that you don't see, you don't hear, but he's everywhere. He's in everything. That's Amun. That's what that means. Okay, not some more to be. Moving on, that just cracks me up. But Amun means unseen, hidden, ever present, supreme being, beyond duality, and beyond description and comprehension. That's describing God. We got the same concept for Amun, got the same concept for Ra, and the same concept for Ptah. They all have the same attributes that makes them God. Only thing different is the name and the concept that they bring. Okay, so again, here's the bracket. Now, every one of my groups I'm gonna read to you now, they got a setup of the god and goddesses. Okay, starting from the top down. Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you right quick. You got Ra at the top, or Amun, Ra. But Ra has a female counterpart. All the gods, every god outside of Nebercha, the one all encompassing, everybody has a mate. Okay? First one, Ra, his female, Amun, Ra. Ra got his wife is Rat. The T, the demonstrative T for the females in Egypt. Most female last letter in their name was T, let you know it's a female. So, all right. And the U means more than one, plural. Like U to them was the S, like us. But you got Amun Ra. And then out here you see these three right here, these names right here. I'm gonna break them down for you, and then we're gonna get into the elements. They're not considered in all of that. Why? They're before that. When Ra came out of the Noon, the first thing he did, why? It was chaos, total chaos. Anything was possible. Everything in there, we got God just waiting to do their thing, but it was chaotic. He needed order. That's my girl, Mayat. She's his daughter, or the right eye of Ra. The left eye had Hathor, or Hadou. She's the one that turned into a lion that came out and almost killed the world, okay? Because revenging God, when he pissed him off when he went up to heaven, he left Earth. God, Ra walked with us. He got old. People started talking about him, mocking. He got pissed off and exited and said, from now on, the only way they get to me is they have total ultimate respect for me when they get here. They ain't gonna worry about that nonsense mocking me when they come up here. So they got past the test of Maya. She was in charge of getting people to Ra. And Hadou is the female counterpart to Haru with the female spirit. And when she avenged her father, she did work. So, and now the favorite one, Tahuti. Every group has a messenger from God. Tahuti represents the mind of God. The Medjugorje was written by Tahuti, God's mind. The God of gods is Tahuti. He runs the show. He's God's mind. Okay? Those are three things that's outside the bracket. Then you got air. We need air to breathe, right? That's shoot. Moisture. We need moisture to come down to help the earth vegetation. So you got water from above. We 75% water on earth. So it ain't about that. It's water from above. The morning dew, that mist, okay? That's tough Nut. And then you got Nut, which represents heaven. She's the star lady over the dome. She's the firmament because she's covering over Gad, which is the earth. Okay? The earth is flat, level, yeah. The dome covers. So you got the ball and the lancing. Okay, balance. Like my man brought that. I seen my man do that. I like that concept. I ain't doing that right now. I'm busy doing something else. But those are elements. Shu, air, tough Nut, water. Nut, heaven, galaxy. Gab is earth. Now, I got everything laid out. I can bring man into the fold, starting with who? Asar, Aset, Set, Haru, he was considered in the 5 children from Nut, who got pregnant from Gab because they're in a love embrace. And there's 360 days of the year. That's a complete circle, right? Okay. But we got 5 more days added. Those are the gods' birthdays. Asar, Aset, Set, Haru, and Neptet. They all represent the holiday, the festival days. So we still carry them on, just in different way, but that's where they come from. The year 360 days, 365 and 4, some quarter, 3/4 of the day. But they had it laid out, and that was the purpose for it. They already had known. And then you got the guy called Anubis. Anubis represents your discernment. These are all qualities that's in you. Asar is your spirit. Set is your ego, your consciousness, your inner you. Okay, not a good dude. Haru is you when you master oneself. That's why I say Haru, the spirit that's in me and you. You need to know that. Why? That's the spirit that's been around forever. Okay, that's the actual spirit. Aset, she represents intuitive wisdom, knowledge, and the ultimate mother. Okay, her twin sister Neptet, she represents mortality. They mourners, they represent death and life at the same time. Okay, but Anubis represents your discernment. He's the child between Asar and Neptet. That means spirit immortality brings out what? Discernment. That's Anubis' job. And he ended up being the mummy of the great divider. Good stories. These are all stories that if you learn the story, you understand the God, and then you can emulate them by putting it into use in your daily life. That's the purpose of it. It works like a charm. Watch this. Now, out of the 10 gods I just showed you, the first one I told you was Shu. Shu represents air. They had a bunch of things about Shu you can learn and understand. Tefnut, she's the female lioness. Why? Because back in this time, we was in the age of Leo. So you see a bunch of lion-headed. That's because Leo was the sign at that time. And you ever seen a shy Leo, a bashful Leo? I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo. They like that means something. They like they got a big S on their chest. I'm a Leo. They funny. All right. But then you got Newt. She represents swallowing up Asar in the west and giving birth to him in the east. She's laying over like this. So when he gets to the west, he goes down. See, she got 2 holes in her body. Okay. That's her right here. Nice hairdo, flat top. All right. This is her. She swallows up in the west and gives birth in the east. So she stretches over the earth. That's the concept. These are all stories that if you learn the story, read the story, it makes so much sense. Better than that old fairy tale superstitious nonsense that don't serve you. Moving on. Each one of these has a purpose of your character, aspect of your character. Geb is the earth. He's the foundation which you stand on. Aset. She represents intuitive knowledge that we're born with. She brings that out. Asar, he's the spirit, he's man. He's the first spirit in matter become man. He's the soul. He represents the spirit that's in us. And we are his son, which the spirit is a Haru of God. Asar is God. Haru is the spirit of God. His reincarnated spirit that's in us. Story lays out perfect. Okay. Conceptually, it lays out. Set. Set is, and Carl Jung took it and modified it. So now, modern term, you know it as your ego or the id identification is right on point because your first 7 years, we just take in the environment that we're in. And we start to develop our own internal identification with the world from the ego perspective. And that's what we said ancient times. He took and modified it and called it the id. Right on point. He ain't wrong. All his stuff that I follow up, a lesson in, he right. And I know where he got it from. Okay? And he just modernized. See, I put my little twist to my she taught another philosophy. He did the same thing. He took all the information and just modernized it to a language that we all understand. Letter guy, smart man. All right. And then you got Nefet. She represents nature. If you're born, you're going to die. She represents human. Okay. Everything born into the world will die. That's her job. Okay. See you through death. And last one, Haru You see him with all his glory. Okay? He got all his regalia. That's because he have mastered himself. He got his headgear. He got his staff. He got the ark. He's sitting on the throne. He is the king of himself. That's the goal for all right thinkers, to become self-masters, become Haru in the flesh. That's the concept. That's the lesson. I hope you got it. I'm teaching now, so I'm going to shorten the lesson down. Just give you a lesson and let you take it and go on about your business. Right now, I'm going to close it down. Right thinkers and close it. I mean, you all live to be 100, me 100 miles a day. So I never know my right thinkers who starting to understand different theologies about God have passed away. I'll be right back with more.